Imagine stumbling on a secret so profound it challenges everything we thought we knew about ancient civilizations. Graham Hancock, a maverick in the world of alternative history, often posed a daring question. What if the greatest stories of our past were yet to be discovered? Today, we're on the brink of such a revelation. Hidden beneath the sands of time, Roman mummies, a concept as bewildering as it is true, are surfacing, promising to rewrite the annals of history. Join us as we peel back the layers of the past, venturing into a realm where Romans embraced the Egyptian art of mummification, a discovery that could shatter the conventional narrative of ancient history. Are you ready to dive into the hidden mysteries of Roman mummies with us? Prepare to have your view of history turned upside down. Following the trend of history, mummification has always been an ancient Egyptian practice, but recent discoveries prove that Romans adopted this Egyptian technique at some point in time. When Egypt was first conquered by Alexander the Great and then by the Romans, this led to an extraordinary fusion of classical and Egyptian traditions. Like many subsequent empires, they hoped to reduce the indigenous population's resistance to their rule by co-opting their culture. This produced unique art forms reflecting these twin influences. The Greek ruling family known as Ptolemy branded themselves as pharaohs and even adopted the practice of sibling marriage. While Romans would eventually provide a conduit through which Christianity would spread in Egypt, both the Ptolemy and the Roman authorities continued building temples to their old gods. This period lasted almost 700 years until it was ended by the Arab conquest. It produced the city of Alexandria, the reign of Cleopatra, some of the most unusual theologians in Christian history, and extraordinary intermingling of Greeks, Jews, and Egyptians. One of the strangest examples of this melding was the new Greco-Roman adopted process of mummifying their dead. While the process of mummification and burial in sarcophaguses continues to reflect Roman influences, we get coffins decorated in a distinctly classical style, such as the Faiyum mummy portraits. In 1964, during building work 9 miles north of Rome along the Cassia in a district on the outskirts named Grottarossa, the mummy of a Caucasian girl, embalmed without evisceration with its funerary equipment, was accidentally discovered. Archaeological studies enable the marble sarcophagus to be dated around the 2nd century AD. According to scientific investigations, the mummy was that of an 8-year-old girl. The ultimate cause was revealed to be bilateral fibrinous pleuritis of uncertain nature. Research carried out on the textiles indicated that the site of mummification may have been in Rome. In spite of the very considerable amount of research carried out on the Grottarossa mummy, the site where the embalming took place could not be explained. Many pointers indicated that the mummification was done in Italy. The most probable reason for the Egyptian-style embalming of the Grottarossa mummy, instead of the usual Roman procedure, was burying and incinerating, might be because her parents were believers in the Egyptian gods, either as a result of a period of stay in Africa or they had become familiar with them while living in Rome. From this viewpoint, the Egyptian-style mummification of the Grottarossa mummy in Italy seems to be perfectly justifiable. In a shocking turn of events, this was the second mummy ever to be discovered in Rome. The first Roman mummy was a 12-year-old girl found in a grave near the Via Appia, about 5 miles from the city, and reburied in a secret site. Thus, all knowledge of its whereabouts was lost. With the Egyptians' recent tilt towards resurrecting its historical importance and looking for new avenues of research and archaeological digs, another find has been added to the mix, this time from the Aswan. A joint Egyptian-Italian mission excavating near Aswan in Egypt has discovered a tomb from the Greco-Roman period containing mummies. What made this discovery more interesting were that the 20 mummies discovered in the massive Greco-Roman tomb located in the vicinity of the Aga Khan Mausoleum. According to Mustafa Mwizouri, the Secretary General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities, this recently discovered Greco-Roman tomb has 2 parts. One above ground was made of rectangular sandstones and mud brick, which hid the tombs, and one carved in the rock. Dated to the Greco-Roman period, the discovered large family tomb called AGH 032 was looted by grave robbers in antiquity. Excavations have been carried out in the vicinity of the Aga Khan Mausoleum since 2019, and 300 tombs dating from the 6th century BC to the 4th century BC have been found. Along with Greco-Roman tombs, some other interesting archaeological finds were uncovered, including offering tables, stone panels covered with hieroglyphic scripts, and copper necklace engraved with Greek script, with the name Nikostardus on a plaque next to it. In addition to these, coffins were made of clay were also found. Likewise, several wooden statues of Bob Bird and parts of colored cartonnage were also found in the Greco-Roman tomb. Colored cartonnage was used in Egypt to make funerary masks. Cartonnage includes plastered layers of fiber or papyrus, flexible enough for molding while wet. The method was used in funerary workshops to produce cases, panels, or masks to cover all or parts of a mummified body. And additionally, the tomb also contained a landfill of animal bones and pottery fragments, offering tables and plates inscribed in hieroglyphs. The landfill area was clearly used for ritual ceremonies, most likely a votive place for offerings or consecrations. It was here in the east wall of the tomb that a man's mummy was found. The researchers believe that this man, whose name, Nicostratus, was the owner of the copper necklace engraved with the Greek script, among the many items that were found in the tomb. The room is overlooked by 4 burial chambers dug deep into the rock, where a beautiful terracotta sarcophagus of a child's mummy remains were unearthed. While this child mummy remains unnamed, there was another child mummy with a name plaque found located inside the mummy's chest. However, in 2019, the AGH 026 Greco-Roman tomb was discovered in the same compound, yielding 45 new mummies. These mummies were radiologically scanned to determine age, sex, and disease. The results showed that 30% of the mummies were children aged between the ages of 0 and 10. The same process was used on the mummies discovered at the new Greco-Roman tomb found in 2021, which revealed that mummies belonged to at least 3 different families. Some of these mummies also presented evidence of infectious diseases and metabolic disorders along with age-related illnesses like arthritis, a non-inflammatory degenerative condition that mainly affects cartilage. While the Roman Empire annexed the Ptolemaic Kingdom in 30 BC, Egypt became an extremely important agriculture and trading center, the most revered outside Rome itself, with a highly developed urban economy. This created a vibrant Greco-Roman culture with a sense of historical continuity between both of these great ancient empires. Although the Ptolemaic institutions were reformed, the overarching authority of Roman law triumphed over the Greco-Egyptian legal system. Interestingly, the first Roman emperor, Augustus, initiated a new Roman imperial cult in Egypt, which seemed like a break from past traditions. Yet at the same time, Augustus ordered that his image be used in conjunction with the identification of Zeus, the same way that Alexander the Great had used Zeus's image to project an image of liberation from the tyrannical rule of the pharaohs. When talking about mummies, a number of remarkable discoveries have been made over the years. Discoveries that reveal details beyond human imagination and comprehension. This unique Greco-Roman find is another interesting find added to the list. In a remote desert in Egypt, archaeologists discovered an intricately carved plaster sarcophagus portraying a wide-eyed woman dressed in a tunic in a newly uncovered complex of tombs. Entombed in a decorated sarcophagus, the 3-foot-tall mummy belonged to either a small woman who shrank since mummies always shrink, or a girl who died in the Greco-Roman period. The discovery happens to be the first Roman-style mummy found in the Bahariya Oasis in some 160 miles southwest of Cairo, said Mahmoud Afifi, the archaeologist who led the dig. The find was part of a ceremony dating back to the Greco-Roman period containing 14 tombs. The carved plaster sarcophagus shows a woman wearing a long tunic, headscarf, bracelet, shoes, and beaded necklace. Colored stones in the sarcophagus' eyes gave the appearance that she was awake. Afifi said that they are still working on dating the discovered mummy, but burial style indicated that she belonged to Egypt's long period of Roman rule, which lasted a few hundred years and started in 31 BC. He added that his team initially thought they had stumbled across a child's tomb because of the diminutive stature, but the decorations and features indicated that it indeed was a woman. Although it is still unclear who the woman was, judging by the efforts taken on the sarcophagus, she would be a wealthy and influential member of her society. Mummies of people of diminutive statures have been unearthed in other parts of Egypt, where they appear to be important in local religions at the time. Alongside the mummy, archaeologists have also found a gold relief showing 4 sons of the Egyptian god Horus, several glass and clay utensils, other plaster masks of women's faces, and some metal coins. The metal coins were examined to see whether they could be used to date the year of the tomb more precisely. The find was made after archaeologists made a series of exploratory digs ahead of a local council plan to build a youth center on the land. The area is known for its relics from the Greco-Roman period. Bahariya Oasis rocketed to fame a decade ago with the discovery of the Valley of Golden Mummies, a vast cemetery that has yielded up to hundreds of mummies, many covered in gold leaf from the Greco-Roman period. Those sarcophagi were decorated in a more traditional ancient Egyptian style rather than the Roman style of the current find. The discoveries from this period indicate the comparative wealth and prosperity of the oasis at a time due to the location on major desert trading routes. It is no news that Egypt is home to several mummy-related discoveries, but this particular discovery carries the weight of history with it. A huge 2,300-year-old funerary building and a number of mummy portraits were discovered in Egypt's southern province of Faiyum, about 37 miles south of Cairo. The buildings and the paintings, which are famously known as the Faiyum portraits, date back to the Ptolemaic and Roman eras in the 3rd century BC. They were found in the Faiyum's Gerza village, which is known as Philadelphia during the Roman period. The discovered structure is a large building styled as a funerary building with colored gypsum tiled floors. To the south of the building, there is a colonnade hall where the remains of 4 columns were found. The uncovering of the painting was also hailed as one of the most important archaeological discoveries at the time, as it marked the first time such portraits would be found in more than 110 years. In the late 19th century and early 20th century, British Egyptologist Flinders Petrie excavated at least 150 mummy portraits at a Roman necropolis in Faiyum's archaeological site in Haifa. The discovery shows the diversity and difference in the quality of the mummification process during the Ptolemaic and the Roman time based on the financial status of the deceased. Egypt has invested heavily in ancient discoveries in recent years, hoping to revive its ailing tourism. The country also plans to inaugurate a statue of the art museum near the Giza pyramids, which Egypt says would be the biggest museum in the world. As we unravel the mysteries of Roman mummies, each layer peeled back reveals more than just the secrets of the dead. It challenged the very foundation of our understanding of ancient civilizations. But the journey doesn't end here. Imagine, for a moment, a discovery so startling, it seems to leap straight from the pages of myth into reality. Buried for millennia, a mummy emerges, not just wrapped in fineries of the ancient world, but with a tongue made of pure gold. Why? For what arcane purpose? The answers lie just beyond, in a tale that bridges the gap between the living and the dead, between the past and the present. This isn't just history, it's a revelation, a story that has waited thousands of years to be told. The Mummy with a Golden Tongue invites us to question everything we thought we knew about the ancients and their dealings with death, divinity, and the afterlife. Are you prepared to delve deeper into this enigma? The next chapter awaits, promising to peel back more layers of the hidden truths of our ancestors. The story of the Mummy with a Golden Tongue is not just a tale of death, but a message from the past, illuminating the richness of ancient traditions and beliefs, now unsealed after millennia. The secrets of the ancients are vast, and this is all but a glimpse into their world. What other revelations lie in wait? The path forward is shrouded in mystery, but one thing is certain. History is far stranger and more fascinating than we ever imagined. Join us as we continue to uncover the untold stories of the past. The journey into ancient mysteries continues, and it's one you won't want to miss.